up, everybody? This is filmmaker Ron K. Armstrong, filmmaker extraordinaire, with another video for you. In this video, I want to talk about Hollywood's plot to emasculate males. But before I do that, I want you to hit the like button on this video. Hit that like button. And if this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Hit the subscribe button to get notifications on when I go live or upload new videos. So let's get into the subject matter of how Hollywood is plotting to emasculate males. I got my friend Lester here, and he's going to join us for this discussion. Now, let me just set an understanding here. Now, it is my goal here just to bring about a different perspective on things. So, one of the things that keeps our government in check and keeps society in check is diverse opinions. So you need to welcome that. You need to understand that. And just because I say something and you don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. All right. And there's an old saying says, just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get me. All right. So let's get into this. When I saw Avengers Endgame, I'll be honest with you, I didn't like it. In fact, I saw some things in it that were very disturbing, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. Leading up to that film, I began to see this very subtle and covert act that was going on with Hollywood. Started with Deadpool. I have to honestly say that. Probably even before then, but I really noticed it during Deadpool. Deadpool's a character that I do not like, especially in Deadpool 2. And the reason being, I'll tell you why, is because it's a metrosexual character or bisexual character that they're afraid to come out and admit what it is and market to that demographic. I don't care. You can have a gay bisexual character, then market to their demographic. Don't try to market to a demographic that's not yours and doesn't want that, and then hide the fact of what it is. It's kind of like, I remember people talking about porn industry and how if you're a man and you go to an adult site and you're looking at women, they will mix in there some gay porn to kind of see if you're interested or to get your interest in going in that direction, which is what I think Hollywood is doing with Deadpool. Now, again, don't care what your character is. It could be LGBTQRSTUVWXYZ, but then come out and say it and then market to the demographics. Don't try to market to a demographic that's not yours in order to indoctrinate them into that kind of philosophy. That's a problem that I have. But anyway, that's not my point though, all right? My point being is that what you are seeing happening with male characters is the slow but sure emasculation. And it's been going in that direction for a long time now. It's not as overt as Ghostbusters 2016, where you take out all the male characters and replace them with female characters. I'm down for something like that. I had no problem with the idea with Ghostbusters 2016 of having all female cast, but it was a bad script, bad story, just bad acting, no fault of the cast. And it was racist in the way they dealt with the black female character. So anyway, go berserk. You can put all the female characters in all the movies. I don't care. Just make it a good story. And make sure that she's like Sigourney Weaver, Ripley, and kicks ass. Or Sarah Connor and kick ass. I love that. I have no problem with that. One of the films I like is Sucker Punch. All female cast there. It did poorly at the box office, but I love that. Let me get back to my point. My point being is this slow emasculation of males. Now, if you understand how Hollywood works, or if you understand how subliminal seduction works, it's never something that's thrown in your face, because then your left critical mind will reject it. So what they have to do is slowly but surely indoctrinate you into the process over time through a process of culmination. The other thing you have to do is do like a 360 marketing. Wherever you turn, you're kind of seeing that theme. And the repetition of that slowly gets you to accept it. And this is what I'm seeing. Again, starting with Deadpool. Now, let me go over this so you get a full scope of understanding what I'm talking about. Now, I recently saw, and I'm going to talk about the recent films going backwards, Spiderman Homecoming, which I thought was just god-awful. Because here you have Spider-Man, Peter Parker, who is whining throughout the entire film and just not interested in becoming a superhero, manning up, but he just wants to chase MJ. Now, oh, let me just say it. This is going to be full of spoilers, all right? So understand that. Now, I'm not, I'm like, what happened to, with great power comes great responsibility. Why is you whining about chasing MJ when the world needs you? And he's very, very effeminate, just not interested in being a Tony Stark, which is basically what supposedly he's being groomed for. All right, enough said there. I'm gonna move on so you understand. Then we come to Star Wars: The Force Awakens, when we totally disrespected Han Solo's character. He died in the most pitiful way. You get a very weak, whining villain, Kylo Ren, not strong villain like Darth Vader. Darth Vader kicked ass. Kylo Ren constantly questioning what is he doing. Is he with the dark side, the light side? It was just pathetic. You weren't afraid of him. He wasn't a strong character, and consequently, when you don't have a strong masculine character, what happens? Or villain, I should say, what happens? Then you have nothing for your protagonist to fight against, which brings me to Avengers Endgame. Thanos was an excellent character. He was a strong alpha male character. If any of you get the hint of where I'm getting that from. And which is why he had to die. Look at the symbolism there. They had to assemble the Avengers and everyone to kill him because he was that strong of a man. He manned up and said, listen, the universe is overpopulated. We got to do something about that. And he was very clear and focused on what he wanted to do. No whining, no wimping. And he could kick ass, which is why he had to die. Let's go on now to Thor. Thor, wimping, crying. I couldn't believe that you had a Thor with a pot belly and he was crying in the film. That's an emasculation of his character. That's disgraceful. It's disrespectful. Iron Man. What happened to Iron Man? He had to die. Tony Stark was the ladies' man. Couldn't have that. So they have to groom his daughter to replace him, which she will. Captain America, what happens? He has to go chase this girl from back in time. He becomes old and frail. That's not Captain America we know. But again, you have to emasculate the characters through this slow process. 007, we're seeing now that he's being replaced by this African American woman. And I can go on about that, but I'll make a separate video. Luke Skywalker, what happened to Luke Skywalker? Oh, I don't want to train you to Rey. I don't want to fight Kylo Ren. I don't want to engage the what is that thing called? They're not the Empire now. Some crap, the New Order or whatever. That was never Luke Skywalker's character. Luke Skywalker's always stepped up and to handle his responsibilities as a Jedi. He had his training. He knew that the dark side was wrong. And he was not going to shy away from this, his responsibility. But going along with the theme of emasculation, this is what you have. Let's go on to Terminator. Now you have this character who is a non-binary character. You don't know if it's a male or a woman. She's a new Terminator. She's a protector. And what do you mostly see her doing? Beating up men in the film. That's what she's doing. And doing these stunts that it's impossible for even a man to do. But this is the theme. Now, I'm getting the hints, spoiler review, that in the film, John Connor, the actor that plays John Connor, is coming back and he's going to die very early on in the film because he's going to get killed by Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator character, I think the T-800 or something. See what they're doing, killing off the characters, the male strong characters. And now the new savior is going to be this Latina woman, and they don't have Skynet anymore. So there's a massive flipping of the script here, rewriting of past films, not sticking to canon. Let's go on because there's a lot more we can talk about. Actually, more than I have written out. There was a great film that came out not too long ago that the media purposely ignored because the female character refused to come against male characters, to bash them, to belittle them, which was Alita, Battle Angel, an excellent film. From a technical perspective, meaning the effects, to all the way to the acting and the story was wonderful. But the media ignored it because it didn't contain any identity politics. It didn't bait you into it by talking about how bad men are and how she was beating up men. It had a story, a real story. The latest of which now brings me to Marshall Ali, who is now going to be the new Blade. Now, this man was in Battle Angel. and he was good. Now, I had a problem with his role because in the film, they point blank refused to overtly show that he was having relationships with the white woman in there. And he was. They hinted at it by her being in bed in nice lingerie, and he was standing over her, but he was never in the bed with her. And this is what you have to see that Hollywood is afraid of: strong, masculine, black characters who are romancing white women, which is why James Bond couldn't be black, because he would be sleeping with white women, so they had to bring in a black woman, because they're fine with a black woman being pimped out to sleep with white men. They're fine with that. You see that all the time. And a lot of black women celebrate that too. They go along with that program. But Marshall Ali has no martial arts experience. He's not even physically the part. Acting-wise, he kicks butt, yes. But there are so many people you could have gotten who are strong alpha males. You could have gotten, for example, Wesley Snipes. Do you think he'd be good for Blade? Of course he would have. Another character, Michael J. White. This guy, his acting wasn't that great in Spawn, but he is damn good in terms of his acting. And his martial arts skill is like second to none. He's damn good. He would have been a perfect Blade. But you can't have him. This goes along with Black Panther. Black Panther is a character that I do not like. He is very, very effeminate. He is not the brilliant scientist, because he's supposed to be smarter than Tony Stark, but his sister's smarter than him. How does that work? The original comics, he was supposed to be smart. And now he's very passive. And in Black Panther, what did you see? What did you see happen? He sided with the United States government. In fact, the character of the antagonist that he fought against was a strong male, but he had to die. Remember, Killmonger had to die. Even though he was right, Killmonger was right. Go back and watch that film. Strong character, but he had to die. Same as Thanos. So what I'm asking you to take a deep dive look at, is what's going on with these characters. Marshall Ali taking the role of Blade, he's more of a methodical, calculated type of character, whether it be the protagonist or antagonist. And he would do very well in that role. But someone very physical, very strong, who acts on adrenaline is what you need for that role, who has the build, the martial arts skill, coupled with the acting. And that is not him. In fact, I wonder, looking at his resume, in terms of the films he's been in, like The Green Book, was it Moonlight? You got to ask the question, why are you picking him? Why not Grace Jones? She exerts masculine ability. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I want you to take a look at this. I want you to consider this, because this is what I think is going on. Again, it's a slow, cumulative effect that they're putting in place, where it's so subtle you don't know it. I mean, you can watch Black Panther and you can get all elated by the fact that they have a black superhero character, but when you take a real good look at Black Panther's character, he's very passive, very almost metrosexual, feminine in a way. Not a strong character. And I want you to compare that to BET did an animated version of Black Panther, where that character was a very, very strong black man. And if you know anything about Hollywood, they don't like masculine black male characters. That's a threat to them. But anyway, think about this, consider this. Like I said, it's just a different perspective on all of this. I'm not saying it's right, even though I believe my perspective is right, but it's something to consider. This is Ron K. Armstrong, filmmaker extraordinaire. Until my next video, keep making films.